Hey, what's up, everybody? This is number one Sailor Scout, and I'm taking a little break from my run-through series for right now. All right, today I'm gonna make a video about my car. Excuse me, which is this beauty right here. It's a 2007 Honda Civic LX trim, and this is my little project car. It's also my daily driver, so I'll tell you about everything that I've done to it thus far and what all I'm planning on doing to it. Okay, starting off with the exterior. Done a few subtle things. My newest addition is my new set of 16-inch wheels from MB Wheels. They are the 7X series, and the tires that I have on them are the hand-cut Ventus V4 ES, one of the newest hand-cut tires around. Excuse me. And they are ultra high performance. They're V-rated tires. And here's the sizing right here. If you can see it, it's 205. There we go. 205, 55, 16-inch rim. And it's a V-rated tire also. I got these from Discount Tire Direct for $7.45. That's including the mounting wheels, lug nuts, the wheels themselves, and the tires, warranty program, whole 9 yards. Now you may be wondering, why did I put 16-inch wheels on my Honda since they came with 16s from the factory? Well, for one, I got tired of the steel wheels and the hubcaps. I wanted some alloys. I'm not sure if these are lightweight alloys, but that really doesn't matter to me because this isn't going to be a track car per se. I will be racing it on the track once I'm finished with it, but it's more or less I'm more or less aiming for it to be a good-looking street car. So, excuse me, weight is not that important to me. But anyways, they have the same type of spoke as the OEM Honda hubcaps did. I just got tired of hubcaps. I actually wanted wheels, so I went on ahead and picked them. And I think they look good in my opinion. Have a little flash in them, but not too flashy to the point where it attracts unwanted attention, but it's, to me, subtle enough to where I get a few head nods. I've received good compliments on it so far, so I'm happy with the wheels and tires that I've picked. Hand cups, they handle really well, especially in the wet. I haven't had these tires long enough to test their tread life, but I still recommend them for anyone that's looking for a good tire for their street car and occasionally take it to the track. And if you have had hand cut products on your car before, then you know how good they are. Excuse me. As you can see through the wheels, I've actually painted my rear drums. They are still the factory rear drums. I'll replace them with OEM once they wear out. And as far as the braking department, you see that I do not have the OEM brakes on the front. They're actually slotted brakes. I mean, not slotted, cross-drilled. They're cross-drill brakes. I actually ordered these from Stillen. Stillen is actually a good company that specializes in performance products for Nissan, Infiniti, and Datsun. But they do a little bit of everything for all makes and models. And I dare say I've had these brakes for a while now, and I dare say they are good brakes. I plan to put on some Goodrich stainless steel brake lines to help stiffen the braking up a little bit. But for an average street car, the Stillen's brake pads and the rotors, they'll do just fine. They're really good. Well worth the $250, by the way. All right, moving towards the front. I actually had the front bumper replaced and repainted since I had a minor mishap. Thankfully, I didn't get injured, and the car wasn't seriously hurt. Now, as far as these headlights, you may have seen a couple of videos with these already on YouTube. Now, these are my headlights with the 6000K rating for my HIDs. The difference that I didn't put on here yet, and I won't be able to do so because it's not nighttime, obviously, is that I still have my halos right around this area. Let me move over here because it's kind of bright. I still have my halos, but also I have amber bulbs for my turn signal now instead of yellow. I did this mainly for safety reasons, so make sure other people can actually see me when I'm about to turn. Added a little decal here and there. A buddy of mine detailed this car, and he used the auto butler machine. I'll be going back to him very soon. And I just added this one for fun, the parental advisory explicit horsepower. I just thought it was a neat sticker. I just picked it up and went on ahead and slapped it on the car. Now, if you notice, it's not on the exterior. It's actually on the interior in the dash. I do plan on tinting my windows soon, 25%. So with that said, the decal will be visible, but not as visible. But at the same time, it won't be, what's the word I'm looking for? Distorted. It won't be distorted due to the sunlight and the sun rays that we have. We have really warm weather here in Alabama in the summer, so window tinting will do wonders if you're in Alabama or part of the South. No, it would do wonders for protecting your interior and whatnot, which I'll get to in a moment. Now, I do have another sticker on the interior. You'll probably see it in more detail. It's just basically a no smoking sticker. That means I don't want any smoking done in my car. I don't smoke, and I don't like hanging around people who smoke either. So I don't want that crap in my car. That's a big no-no. Okay, now for under the hood, as you can tell, it still has the 1.8 liter Alvitec 4-banger, 4-cylinder, as it's supposed to be called. And I can't exactly find the stamp right now, but it is the R18 series. And as you can tell, I spray painted my valve cover. I kind of did a horrible job on it, but I still like it because I just wanted the valve cover to look a little bit different besides the original so-called black paint. Just think it looks better as a whole. These are where the spark plugs are, 1, 2, 3, and 4. I have Polestar post plugs under here. Hopefully to give me a little bump in horsepower. I've yet to throw it on the dyno, but I'll be doing so once I get some more money. And I painted my oil dipstick silver, even though on the inside is orange because of the extreme heat. If you could tell, I like spray painting things. Now, as far as the engine oil itself, I'm actually using Royal Purple, the OEM weight, which I believe is 5W20, and it also says it on the oil cap. You may not be able to see it because of how bright it is, but there we go, 5W20. I'm using Royal Purple variety in that. And I also have a short ram intake, K&N. It's rated for an additional 5 to 6 horsepower. I've yet to get this car on the dyno since I've installed some of these bolt-ons. But once again, I'll do so when I get the money. When I last had this car dynoed, it was rated at about, on the average, 131 to the wheels. But that was with the factory intake system plus a K&N drop-in filter. I didn't have the full intake at the time. So probably with this thing, plus the Polestar plugs, plus the Royal Purple engine oil, and I did put some Royal Purple coolant additive for my coolant to help keep the engine cool. Just a little bit of preventive maintenance. I say on an estimate, this isn't exact, but I estimate I'm pushing that at least 140, 142 to the wheels. Okay, now if you can see this itty bitty yellow, that's an Optima battery that I have, and I actually just put some coating on it to help protect it from oxidizing. from corroding. And it also powers not only the car, but it powers my audio system as well. As you can see, there's slight red there. That's going to my amplifier that I have for my woofers, which I'll get to in a moment. Those are in the trunk. And here, tucked away in this corner where my hand is, these are my ballasts for my HIDs. Again, they're 6000K. They produce a white light much brighter than OEM, but not so bright to where you'll get pulled over, which is a good thing because Alabama is starting to crack down on the illegal blue HID lights. Which is one reason I decided not to go with the 8000K. Some people are able to get away with it, but at least here in Mobile, Alabama, which is where I live, law enforcement is really starting to crack down on it. So I would say if you're looking to put HIDs on your vehicle, I will make sure they're at the most 6000K. If you want a different color, you can go down to the 3000K for the yellow, or jump straight to 12,000K for the violet or pink. Those are not illegal to my knowledge. I will ask your local law enforcement before making that kind of modification. But the 8,000 and the 10,000K, yeah, they're blue. Now these here, this is something that I'm looking into. I believe these are for my AC. My air conditioner is running a little hot, but I don't know why. I think it's because I'm out of Freon. I have not replaced it since I bought the car. But I do not know which one of these to unscrew to put the refrigerant into my AC system. So if anyone can help me with that, I would highly appreciate it. What's up? There we go. Now I'm going into the interior. Would help if I had my keys. Have the tachometer here, which goes to 8K RPMs, and as you can see with the PRND symbol, it is an automatic. It's a 5-speed automatic transmission, which actually I don't mind. I never learned how to drive a stick, but I really do not regret driving an automatic. Reason being, I can do what's called bump shifting, which I'll explain in a moment. But also, when I don't want to bump shift, when I want to let the transmission just shift on its own, I can do so. Here's the speedometer. I'm not sure if you can see it because of the sunlight, but there's the speedometer, my fuel meter to the right of it. Excuse me. And my coolant temperature, which is actually reading normal. That's a good thing. You can also see the reflection of my parental advisory sticker. It may not be as visible once I get my window tint on here, which is again to be 25%. Now I have my tassels here and also a chain and an air freshener, just for decoration, nothing serious. I have my factory radio here. Currently it's running the auxiliary port, but I can also tune into the radio and whatnot. Now I have my AC system here. Now I wanted to keep the OEM radios because no one will be the wiser that I actually have a modified stereo in here. And also, I did not want to lose my MP3 port, which is here. I have my 12-volt adapter here. It actually goes off into a splitter, but I have it hidden away. Now, this MP3 port, if you're looking towards on the screen by now, you'll see that I actually have a PSP, PlayStation Portable. It's an 8 gig memory stick in here, which is mostly filled with music, but I have a few videos on here, a couple of movies, just for my little entertainment. And the reason being, I use a PSP and not another mainstream MP3 player is because of its reliability, and not too many people will expect a video gaming console, handheld video game console, to be used as a media player, as opposed to an iPod. Everybody and their grandmother has an iPod, and I just didn't want one. As you can see, I have my shifter here. As I mentioned earlier, this isn't automatic, but I made it to look like a manual because it looks better in my opinion. I just pulled out the PRND indicators here, and I installed a shift boot that's designed for a manual transmission. Now my e-brake is currently broken. Now I do, it will fit on there, but as you can see, it easily comes off. But even during driving, it will stay on. So what I'm wanting to do is put on an NRG e-brake handle here and try and cover some of this up. Purely cosmetic reasons, but function-wise, it still works, so I can't complain much. My H badge on the steering wheel, I think I'm just going to leave it as is right now. As you can see, it is torn off. That is my fault. It was actually the factory silver, and then I went through a phase to where I painted it blue, and I got tired of it. So I tried to sand it back down to the silver. I did not realize that it would sand off the entire paint job, and I thought I could just yank off the emblem like on the older Honda cars, but I can't. So I ended up tearing some of it off. Again, that's my fault. If anyone knows where I can find a replacement H emblem, please let me know, and I'll be willing to buy it and have it installed. Otherwise, I'll just keep it looking like this. Again, not really that serious. Now, I'm going to put on some music. I'm not trying to infringe on any copywriting by any means. I'm just showing off the products that I legally own. Everything in this car I legally bought. Even the music. By the way, this song is called Screwed Up by Ludacris and Lil Flip. Okay, now for my speaker system, I'm going to revamp my inside speakers. But what I have in the doors and in my rear shelf is 6.5 from Kenwood. And they are 3-ways, which means I have my highs, mids, and lows. But I'm going to replace them with some Pioneers if I can. Now, you may see these holes here. From far away, you really can't tell, but I actually had some neon tubes in here. But I took them out because they were blinding me at night, and in my opinion, they just started looking horrible to me. Plus, I've been pulled over by a state trooper because of them. So that's another reason why I pulled them out. It's a little bit dark in here at night, but I'd rather do it illegal. Now I do have my factory dome light, but also here you may notice something different. White. These are white LEDs that I have because they're brighter for reading maps and whatnot. I'm not too much concerned about the dome light because I do not use it much. Of course, I got my back seat, basically factory, which needs to be cleaned up a little bit, but it's still factory. Everything is factory. You wouldn't know that anything aftermarket is lurking in here. Not too many people will be the wiser. I even have a little magazine holder here that came with the car. I put books and whatnot on here. Alright, now in the trunk, first off I have Pikachu. Say hi. Pika, Pika. Pika, Pika. No, in all seriousness. Pikachu's just hanging around. Whatever. But I do have a pair of JBL 12-inch woofers in here. And my Kenwoods, you may not be able to see them, but they're installed also, the 6.5. These JBL woofers are rated at 1100 watts apiece. They are very loud if I turn my amplifier up to full power, which I rarely do. Now where the amplifier is itself, I have it mounted on the back seat for security reasons, just in case someone tries to get wise, try to get cute and steal my woofers. They'll probably get the woofers, but they'll have a hell of a time getting to the amp. And even if they do get the amp, they're going to end up screwing it up by the time they get to it, because this back seat's metal. Okay, I have a Power Acoustic Gothic Series amplifiers rated at 1800 watts. And the shop that set it up for me, I had everything installed by a local shop, only because of the fact that at the time I got these, I did not know how to install anything like this in the newer model car, but now that I've found out how to do it, if I had to do it over again, I would probably do it myself. 4-gauge wiring from Discreet Audio, which is the brand name. Now, as far as the output, it's set up conservatively. It'll hit pretty hard if I max out the bass knob, which is towards the front actually, which is right there. Yeah, that's the bass knob. If I max it out, then it will actually hit pretty hard. But 9 times out of 10, I leave it at minimum and just crank up the head unit to maximum volume. Because that way everything will balance out. Just the right amount of lows, and then I get my mids and highs loud and clear to where it won't sound super distorted. Now, I plan on dynamatting all of this whole rear shelf, whenever I get the money. And as far as the rest of the interior, I'm going to see if I can't get a Valentine 1 radar detector. Have a lot of pissy law enforcement here, so I need something to keep my eyes open for the 5-0. Or for the pigs or police or whatever the hell y'all call them. I just call them cops. Okay. Now with that done, we're just about done with the car. Kind of. As you can see, I have a somewhat modified exhaust. Really, all it is a different tip. I had a dual exhaust slanted tip. Dual tip slanted. A slanted dual exhaust tip on my factory muffler. But actually, it started rusting. So I just took it to a muffler shop and I had them install a OEM light system. Pretty soon I'm going to install a Megan Racing full catback exhaust system. And if you see here, I have a Megan Racing strut brace for the rear suspension. I'm going to get one for the front as well. Well worth the money. And yeah, that's a factory exhaust. I'm not going to try and rev it up or anything, but I plan on getting, like I said, a Megan Racing full catback. And I'll reopen the hood. Okay, this is where the catalytic converter is. That's going to be deleted, and I'm just going to have a Megan Racing header here. This is the ECU next to the air filter here in the intake. This is going to be managed by a Hyundai Flash Pro whenever I get the money. I already have a laptop for the Hyundai Flash Pro. I just need the Flash Pro itself. And that's a fuse box, nothing special. And the Hyundai Flash Pro is plugged in this section here. Let me see if I can point it to the exact location. There it is. Kind of a blurry plug, but there it is. Now here's the underpinnings of the throttle. I'm going to put a Sprint booster power converter here, just to try and eliminate the delay from the drive-by wire. This car is quick, fairly quick for not being an SI and for it being an automatic, at least in my opinion. But I just want to give it just a little bit more oomph. So that's about all I could think of as far as the car is concerned. I'm going to actually update my car domain profile, which I haven't done in forever. Excuse me. I'm actually going to update my car domain to where it has the most recent modifications and a complete list of what I plan on doing to the car, which also includes blacking out my license plate if it's legal. I'm going to leave these on. Blue reverse lights. Now, why did I keep the blue ones on here if I just said you can't have blue lights on your car down here in Alabama? Well, because these are reverse lights. 9 times out of 10, a cop isn't going to see those. Besides, that's only if I'm in the parking lot. But anywho, I'm going to update my car domain profile. If you want to take a peek at it, it is www.carddomain.com/ID/XX1 Sailor Scout XX. That's all together, and that's all lowercase, if I remember correctly. And I'll be hanging out on the Civic.com forums. Whenever I get the time, I'll register on there and try and get some help. I mean, just try and hang out. Now, I am proud of my R18. I know many people are saying, why didn't you get an SI? It has more potential, blah, blah, blah. 1, I couldn't afford an SI at the time. 2, I don't know how to drive a stick. 3, SIs usually raise your insurance costs in a hurry. And 4, I want it to be different. So, well, I mean, with all of that said, I know my particular Honda is not going to have the full potential as far as comparing it to an SI with the K20 series motors in it. But with the R18, I enjoy it for what I do. You know, normal street driving, normal street use. Every now and then I do a little spirited driving. And like I said, I will be taking it to the track on occasion. I think it's a damn good car. And I could fit more than 2 people in there, too, seeing that it's a 4-door. Small car, but hey, it's not cramped. I haven't had too many people complain about the seating in this car, even tall people. So, I'm going to stop this video here. Check me out I'm going to keep updating as far as what other videos I'm going to have in store about this car. Just keep checking my YouTube page. I'll try to get them up as soon as I can. Main thing is, I got to get my finances back up before I do any more mods, but I will finish this project one way or another. And as far as the run-through series on YouTube, I haven't quit on it. I'll be working on it still, too. So, thank you for watching the video, and thank you for looking at the car. I pretty much know what direction I'm going to take with it. But if you have, some ideas or suggestions, or you just want to voice your opinion, no hater opinions, but opinions as in, I like this, but wouldn't you do this, blah, just reasonable opinions. Comment on them, leave them on my page. I'll try to respond when I get the time. And I hope to see you guys next video. This is Sailor Moon's Fallen Angel, signing out.